Welcome, everybody. You're familiar with us. We just dropped our first episode of Walk It Off Yanks podcast, exclusively a Yankees podcast, but under the umbrella of the Walk It Off, Talk It Off media conglomerate that we got going on over here. So it's myself, Alex again, Randy, and this is going to be exclusively for MLB in general, not specific to one team. We're just going to cover a little bit of all MLB and discussions, posts, stories, news, all that stuff. Rand, if you want to jump in and get a little bit more into the detail, feel free.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you covered the media conglomerate
Yeah.
section of it because those of us I know most of our following to this point is friends, family, people that we're close with, which is great. We have such a great support group behind us and a great friend group, great families. So it's awesome to have had the people that followed us back in 2020 still on the same on the same page. So the media conglomerate, basically, over the course of years, Alex and I have just talked and I just think it's a really cool opportunity to try to take this and make it into, something bigger than it was when we first came up with the idea of doing this podcast. So, to take an opportunity and just try to put out content for you guys and, for all those that just, maybe have a long ride to work and want to listen to, just two guys letting it rip in the background and, just covering basis of what's going on in the league. I know, the term casual fan gets thrown around a lot, but I know it's hard to follow, 30 MLB teams. Like it's not the easiest thing. So, if we could help you with that, tune in, give us a follow, like, subscribe, all the above, and hopefully you guys are along for the long run because this is just kind of a side passion that Alex and I have, but if we could turn it into something bigger, it would, that's ideally what we're striving for.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll have we said it on the Walk It Off Yanks too. If anybody's listened to that, just enjoy talking baseball. So we want to just sit and talk about baseball. And
Yeah.
outside of being diehard Yankee fans, we're just diehard baseball fans. So we enjoy really sitting down and talking about all things that are the game. We're not afraid to give the credit where credit's due, and not afraid to bash on the Yanks if we have to. So it's fun to just sit and talk about everything. And this will be a spot where we'll have like maybe some series recaps, just talk about like big news that's going on within the league. Obviously in July when the trade deadline comes around, trade deadline stuff, predictions. We'll definitely make a prediction of our division winners. We'll make a prediction for playoffs, like all before the season starts. So we can just kind of recap that at the end of the year and see where we ended up, if we were dead on or if we were dead wrong, just to go through with that. So I think it'll be a lot of that stuff. And like I said, just news, notes, what to watch for, and some sprinkles on maybe some people that not everybody's familiar with that we know. I know like Randy is real big into like the minor league systems, a lot more in depth with it than I am, so I always lean on him when it comes to that stuff. So I'm sure there will be a lot of young guys coming up that we'll be able to talk about and things like that, and just go over everything that happened in the league so people know what's going on, so when somebody talks to you about baseball you can tell them that you know more than they do because you listen to some of us, but also we don't know everything. So feel free to drop comments and let us know stuff about your teams that we might be forgetting or anything like that. That's definitely huge. We don't know everything, but we want to try and educate the people out there that are interested and go from there. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, if we can just provide you with factual information and just educate the daily fan is great. So, a little bit of what we want to get into as well is like if we could come across minor league players, definitely we're keeping it open to ha options to have interviews, just to kind of give you guys a different variety of material your way because I know, it gets kind of redundant listen to sports podcasts at times. You listen to five different Yankees podcasts, you're hearing
Five
a lot
different
of
opinions.
this, yeah, a lot of similar opinions. So if we could just provide you like a fun angle, what I love is that like this essentially is just mine and Alex's texting threads
Yeah.
and Instagram DMs coming to life because like I mean I'll shoot him a Instagram at 9 p.m. and about John Carlos Stanton not making the top 10 DH list or something. And whether we get back to each other that night, that morning, like we might continue a conversation at 6 a.m. the next day. It's just, it's a revolving door of just talking ball and it's what we love. We played baseball together for quite some time. And just that's actually how how we sparked our long-term friendship is just through the game of baseball. So it's great to just be able to talk ball with, a longtime buddy and just kind of fill you guys in and hopefully take you along with our journey and you guys be part of the team.
Yeah, and we have episodes from before, like back 2020, 2021. Only nine. So we're kind of restarting everything, just
Yeah.
starting from scratch again, and gonna be more on top of everything like that. So next week, I think what we'll do is we'll hop in and we'll talk about some big stuff that happened over the course of the offseason so far. We talked about Bellinger on the Yanks, but and a little bit of Bichette and some Tucker stuff, but we'll definitely dive more into those contracts next week. A lot of World Baseball Classic stuff. We'll probably go over the rosters. That starts March 4th. And that's going to be awesome. We got some new guys playing for Team USA that I'm really excited about. And we'll cover all that stuff and we'll make predictions for that as well. Who we think is going to win it, who the best teams are, some sleeper teams and stuff like that. So that's something that's fun to watch too, because it's not spring training games, which as a normal baseball fan, nobody wants to watch spring training unless you're truly invested in it, like Randy and I might be, because it's boring. It's slow. You think baseball is slow, then spring training's even slower. But the World Baseball Classic is, the
It's
World
electric.
Cup. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the World
electric.
Cup of the baseball
Yeah.
world. So
I mean,
it's awesome.
when they had Latin games, Latin-based teams playing in Miami a couple
Yeah.
years ago, it was the epitome of a jungle. It was loud.
Mhm.
It was the energy was, infectious. And if you're a baseball fan, it's essentially you're watching an all-star game where guys are playing for so much more pride and they're playing for the uniform, the flag on the front of their jersey,
Yeah.
and for the guys next to them. So it's really, really entertaining. I look forward to covering it. Like Alex said, we'll hit you guys with a full roster review of that. I'd also love to get into projected lineups and rotations for all 30 MLB teams this year. So whether you're a Nationals fan that moved out to Texas at some point or Mariners fan that lives in New York. There's going to be something that we talk about that's centered around your team. And there's going to be something for everybody to interact with. And it will be so widespread that there's nobody that's going to be left out. So, again, like just leave comments. We love the interaction. Like you guys obviously can fill us in a lot about your teams. I don't know as much about the Angels as I do our Yanks. But like I'm excited to like watch another season of Joe Adele. Um, and like see Tyler Bremner who they drafted last year who everyone was like whoa they skipped over Kate Anderson and so I'm excited to just gain more knowledge on all 30 MLB teams and just the fan interaction is kind of what drives us.
Definitely. So, like walking Yang or talk walking off Yanks, sorry. We'll do, like weekly episodes. Probably release them around the same-ish time frame, couple days in between, whenever we have the time to. But other than that, we're looking forward to getting started. So, hopefully everybody tunes in. Feel free again, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Join us for, what's in store for the 2026 MLB season.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't be afraid to float ideas our way either. We're definitely open to addressing what the fans want to hear. So, look forward to getting rolling. Go check out Walk It Off Yanks. And then tune in here for, our weekly episodes and go follow us on Instagram. We're definitely gonna, once games get going, we're gonna have highlights, clips, news for you guys. Spring training as well. We're gonna cover WBC. So, go check us out, give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we hope to catch you guys soon.
Peace.